right, sounds good. Here we go, going in.
Let's rock and roll.
Sweet. What's going on, and welcome back to Kickin' With. My name is Zac Holcomb with Out of America. Today we've got Chris Moore. You may know him, local celebrity, you may say. What's going on, man? How have you been?
Hey, I'm good. I appreciate the invite.
For sure.
Having a good time. It's Friday. It's been a long week. Grabbed a couple beers over at Mother Earth. Watching some foreign pizza roll out of the brick over there.
Yeah. Did you get dinner yet or no?
No. But I had to painfully watch some competitive pizza flow through Mother Earth, which is cool.
Well, at least you got to smell it all, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I saw a few Sugar Hill boxes in there too, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's right. So, I didn't even think about that dynamic. You know, you got the pizza truck across from the pizza place.
Well, hey.
Different flavors, different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Different flavors of ice cream is like what we like to call it.
Exactly. It's all good. So had a couple beers over there, and then you were kind enough to give me another beer, and we're going to play some ping pong.
Apparently, I just forgot I had it sitting out there. Sorry about that. We were talking about ping pong a little bit ago. You're a big tennis guy, right? Tennis coming up was the sport for you, right?
Yeah, played tennis pretty much all growing up and did a little golf, but I was a tennis guy, and good times with that, met a lot of good people, and, we're all competitive, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a fault, right?
Yeah. No, I know you're competitive.
Yeah, we're gonna go play some euchre later tonight, and if Stephanie screws me out of any tricks, I just get fired up like immediately. I'm just kidding, babe. It's all good. You're a great partner. But last week,
Bark Social.
Yeah. Big Bark's been killing it. Big Bark had like a great week this week, man. Last week we shared about Big Bark on my LinkedIn page. We hadn't done that yet. We'd mostly just been using Big Bark here locally and stuff like that, and it
what
real
happened
good.
By throwing it on LinkedIn?
We had like several people that were 3D connections of mine in the 3D world saw it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, yes!" So we ended up doing really well like that. Like with
so kind of your additive crowd keyed into it too.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so you're feeding off of that.
Yeah, a little
cross
pollination. I don't read a lot. I just watch a lot of videos and trying to find things that other people do that's working really well, and then apply it to my style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. You got to try things and figure out what works best for you. And I think the way you look at a lot of things is kind of cool because we're in a smaller town, small market, great people, but opportunities. Obviously, you can't just stay here if you want to get it all rolling, especially to what you do. And sure. I mean, the world is your oyster, and you've proven that with where I watch you ship to with some of the products that you do. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even think people realize that you're worldwide, man. You're global.
Yeah, man. We're global. We're worldwide. We're trying to go big like that, but yeah, man. Like
so, Big Bark. How long have that's been?
We kicked it off about a year ago officially, I would say.
Yeah.
So and then Steph's just been owning it and killing it. So she's like the talent of it. And then I just try to like apply some of the lessons I've learned in business and marketing and those things. And then, it's like having connections helps. It helps when you have people when you're able to call people or hit them up and they take your call or they respond, like that helps for sure.
Sure.
Over like just starting something out from scratch and nobody knowing you. So it definitely helps. But yeah, man, she's been killing it.
It's interesting how you can spark a market and you tapped into your community. Mm-hmm. And, obviously you have cred and people know you. I mean, you've worked very hard to build your LinkedIn and build your brand and doing what you're doing. And just to tap into that's very smart because, a lot of people dealt with you and, seen the end product that you've put together for them and shipped it, happy with it, repeat customers. So, there's a little bit of that trust.
Yeah, for sure. Like banging that's our thing. Like in Out of America is like, and Steph's dad taught me it largely with Aerosport is banging the quality drum all the time.
Yeah,
and not chasing the price and not chasing the bids down to win them, and just being like, hey, listen, like just straight up, this is just what I can do. It's what I'm capable of, and this is the only way I want to do it.
Yeah, you can't give it away, that's for sure, and I think you're really good about that. But I mean, in our business, I know we've walked away from business because it wasn't good for us. Meaning, there might be a lot of things right, but at the end of the day, everybody's got to be making money.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we're still capitalists for all you socialists out there.
Yeah. All you commies out there, we're still out here trying to make a buck. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Trust me, we pay a lot of taxes.
We're just trying to provide and put food on the table.
That's right. That's right. Just growing the egg a little bit, man, and then rolling it down the hill.
Yeah. So it's all good there. But, yeah, just good week. Had a potential client in today, and it went very well. And
Nice.
it's a big opportunity for our company. So, and I don't even know if you know what I do, but just kind of, I got Sugar Hill and Jackie and Brad Elmore, and my wife and I are partners with everything going on downtown, which we'll get into, I'm sure, at some point in the conversation. But, what I do every day full-time is we're a military broker. I work for a company called Eurpac, and, they've been around for 70-plus years. It's a very cool company. We're an ESOP, so we're all owners.
Nice.
So it's a little different culture, but great people. We're worldwide. We service all the commissaries and exchanges all over the world. Very niche or niche, however you say it, market. So we're dealing with the government and selling into the government, which, has its challenges, but a great business servicing the men and women that protect our freedoms and our liberties so that we can live as free people here in the United States. And it's a very patriotic, there's a lot of commitment, and, I wake up every morning feeling good about what I do because I'm helping, those men and women that protect us all over the world. And, so, my job, my function primarily is business development. So I'm trying to put together supplier relationships and whatnot, and trying to get them to come into our portfolio and our family, if you will. And so it's a very challenging job. I tell everybody, I said, I wake up every day and swallow a pill of sincerity and take the fire hose and headbutt the wall about 10, 20 times and, see what shakes out every day, so it's a lot of fun. And then I obviously downtown here, love Kinston, raised here. My dad was superintendent of city schools for 18 years before he passed away early in life. And before he passed away, I think he was third in the state in longevity. Wow. So interesting thing about my father is he led integration here way back when, and it's kind of cool. He was a superintendent of city schools at age 31.
Wow.
So crazy. Yeah, he was running the show at 31. So kind of cool to grow up here. And my parents from upstate New York, and then he got his really interesting story with my father. But he was a country boy, small town in upstate New York, and you know how there's certain people in your life that take an interest in you, and a lot of people, either take that or they don't, and it kind of really creates a path in life, or you go another way. But if you have people who take an interest in you and, are curious about you and understand that there's something inside you, they kind of look at you. And that's kind of what happened to my father. He had an opportunity, and, he wasn't real sure. He was going to undergrad up in New York, and, and then kind of found out, hey, these people aren't any smarter than I am. So he ended up getting a master's and a PhD in education at the University of Florida in Gainesville, which is where my sister Allison, who lives here in Kinston, and I were both born. And then we went from Florida up to Chapel Hill to Kinston, where he got a superintendency. So we've been here for a long time, know a lot of people. Great town. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. It's interesting when you grow up and you think about, I'm going to branch out and I'm going to move away, and I'm going to I'm going to run as far as I can. And the best thing, it was unfortunate. Now the circumstance, my father passed away my senior year of college, so I came home to be with my mom and help out there. And But I love Kinston. I had no issues coming back. It was something that happened, and been very blessed, very fortunate to have the relationships that I have here in town. And the things that we've been able to accomplish, and being a part of the revitalization of downtown, and you being down here, and and then all the businesses that are down here. It's cool. I see you up and down the streets talking to people, and it's just it takes all types to make the world go around.
Yeah.
And we've got that right here in downtown.
Yeah,
I mean, are you going to be best friends with everybody? No. But as a collective, we're all here to provide for each other, for our families, try to help grow tourism, and, make it a good place for people to come. And so I think we've established some really cool things here in Kinston. And, I think everybody in their own respect are great marketers of Kinston in their own right.
Yeah, in different ways. Yep.
Yeah, so you got all different personalities, and you some you like more than others, but we're all here working together, and I just love it here. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
For sure. Yeah, I think of like kind of what you said about like different people and the different ways that they like to in kind of like put themselves out there, or their different ways of marketing. It's like we all have different flavors.
Yeah.
And it's like even in like your business too, like you might be able to close a deal or sell into or get or create a relationship with a person that someone else there it's just not, they just don't have that vibe that would really sell it. My dad used to tell me about that, man. He used to sell insurance, and the boss that owned the insurance agency was him, and then my dad, and then this other guy, two Ricks. It's Rick and Rick. And he used to always tell him, listen, man, like, it's not really that you guys are out to compete. Like, I like that you guys are competing. That's great because it drives business. But ultimately, there were people that my dad could sell to that the other Rick couldn't sell to. People just weren't about that. But then there were some people that just really didn't really see eye to eye with the way my dad would be, but they would maybe see more eye to eye with the other Rick. And so there's just different ways, different flavors of I always say flavors of ice cream, inside scoop, but like the more, no one likes going to a place where every meal on the menu is the same.
Right.
They go because
you want variety.
Get a little of this, a little of that, and that's what I've seen is in my time here is like, there's some things, like there might be some ice cream you really dislike the taste of here, but ultimately it still contributes to the fact that like more people come when there's more flavors.
Yeah. I mean, to that point, I mean, I know I'm to the point. I'm 54 now. So as you mature, well, at least I hope I mature. I try to be childlike. I want to be childlike till they put me in the box. But it's interesting once you understand a little bit more about who you are. There's realization, actualization, all these phases that you go through. But it's interesting, I know I'm more of like the emotional feeling guy, I want to, touch you and talk to you, and I want to connect.
Right.
I have that's what drives me is the connection to people. And not everybody likes to be engaged that way.
Right. You're right.
It may be, I'm more a numbers analytical person, which I can do all of that too. But the thing that drives me is the connection. Mm-hmm. And so, and why I bring that up is everybody's different. Like you said, different flavors of ice cream, but we have all of that here, just like in every other town. Yeah. And it's very cool to be able to just go from block to block and have those experiences.
Yeah.
And we all have it right here. I mean, if you haven't been to Kinston, and we're trying to create reach on Kicking It with Zac, you need to come to Kinston. I would challenge anybody who wants to come to Kinston and get on this podcast. Come on. Come on in from anywhere. We'll get you on the podcast. Yeah. But I would love to have some people that come here for tourism and then get them on this podcast once they're
walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You're in town for the weekend?
Yeah,
what are you doing before you leave?
You are in the prime location.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about that of just like throwing the door open on Saturdays and just sit here, and anyone that walks in off the like, hey, what's up? Yeah, come here. And just like
ride your board.
Yeah, yeah.
And just go.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Say, hey man, you got a minute?
Yeah.
You know? But pull somebody. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think you'd get a lot of cool reactions. You know, and you know, you're gonna get some characters, which is
no doubt.
That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly. Characters sell. Absolutely.
I've seen some characters on this show.
So. Yeah, Grant was just on, so
yeah, it was
lots of characters.
Lots of characters.
Yeah, the B-Rad episode was a pretty good one. Gotta get him back. Gotta get Brad back. My God.
Yeah, I don't know if Jackie will let him.
Check that one out. Yeah, did it not go well?
No, it went well.
That's
it was
so funny.
It was
hilarious.
I was watching it and I was texting Brad going, man, you're killing it. And I said, man, this is so funny. And, you know, Stacy and they were going through all the lore of the different monsters. And, you know, and Stacy's pulling out all of his sheets. And I'm like going, wow. I said, you know, Mothman. I mean, you had it all going on. I'm like going, geez. And Brad's back there just cutting up and being Brad. I love, what's up, B-Rad? Yeah. He was killing it. And it is like, it's almost that moment in Chris Farley was it Black Sheep or Tommy Boy, where he's smoking with the brothers, and
Black Sheep.
I think it was Black Sheep. Yeah, because his brother was running for governor. Yeah. So,
yep.
And he gets in there and he's kind of toking it up with the brothers, and he comes out on stage, you know, and he's like, you know, one small step. I have a dream. And then all of a sudden he goes, Gil Whitey. And I went, that was Brad's moment with the little spitting thing. And I was like going, oh, I said, I don't know if I can listen anymore.
Dude, I just sat. That was the episode where I just sat and didn't say anything for pretty much the whole entire time.
Yeah. Oh, they can carry the room. Laughing. You put Stacy and Brad together, they can carry the room for sure.
God, that was hilarious.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we got to get him back. It was cut short, unfortunately, but yeah, we got to get him back. Dude, Brad's ride's pretty dope, man. The Stormtrooper truck.
That's been a blessing. I think you know, for everybody that know Brad, he's had some health issues, and so that's caused him to, you know, be a double amputee. And the truck that he got, you know, that allows him to be in the wheelchair and lift him up into the driver's seat and allow him to drive has just been a godsend. It's given him his freedom and his independence back, and it is a killer ride.
Dude, it's so freaking cool. So, like, actually what was funny about it was, like, Grant is kind of like, he's been like, man, I've kind of got my eye on the Silverados, man. I kind of like them. And he's like, I like the white ones with the black tint.
Yeah.
And he always wants that hard cap on the back, you know? And like, he pulled up, and I was like, no shit. I text Grant. I said, dude, I actually told Brad, I said, Brad, wait till Grant gets here, because you're going to have to come back out and show him. Yeah. Because and then Grant went out, he's like, oh man, Silverado, white, with the tint, got that little cap. And then he hit the button, and the whole side of it opened up. I thought Grant was going to just
it's almost like, what was they call that, like the old Goldwing kind of thing, you know, it just, anyways, it's a killer ride. And if you know Brad, and Jackie too, I mean, the tires are going to be right. Yeah. The rims are going to be right. It's going to get tinted.
Yeah,
Dale Carlisle.
Yeah, Carlisle's the best.
Man, he's the best.
He is.
You know, it's going to get tint on it. So, you know, I got my little ride out. I want to get some tint on that. I want to be more like the Elmores.
Yeah. You got to do the tint, dude. I did you got a sunroof on that?
Yeah.
You got to ask Dale about putting that 85% reflectivity, whatever, like the top end tint. Do it with 5% and put it on your sunroof, and then you don't have to like pull the shade so it doesn't turn your car into a greenhouse in the summer. Because I like having the light, but I hate like always hitting the button and waiting for the thing to come. Because I have like the full moonroof in the truck. Dude, he did mine with. You can't see it from the outside, but it like you don't have to put the shade forward in the summer, and it doesn't like cook the inside of it, but you get like the light. It was
cool.
It was
I had no idea.
Ridiculous, you know, things that you would never think about, and then I did it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, it just anyway.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
On that.
I'm all in.
Hook them up, Dale. I think somebody else got a truck too, and they were like taking it down. They were like, "Yeah, drop it off at Carlisle's." They were texting me, and I was like, "Ask Dale about the sunroof tent."
I'm definitely going to do that. I appreciate that's key. Thank you,
Dale, for all the
inside knowledge.
Yeah, all those future sunroof tent jobs that you do. Just remember, just a $10 bill, envelope, 300 North Heritage, right here, ready to accept it. No, he's got it going on down there, man.
Yeah, no, he does great work. He's worked hard. Known Dale a long time. He's a good dude. Yeah. So
you got Mom in there.
Yeah. The
dynamic is fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
don't ask him to tint your taillights though.
No, he likes to keep it above board. He doesn't want anybody to get stopped by the cops and
which is
all that. Yeah, sure. Well, nobody wants to get stopped by the cops.
No,
so.
I know. That's why he was like,
I don't want an excuse.
Yeah, I was like, dude, just legal, please. That's all I need everywhere. I don't want to get ticky-tacky on the tent for sure. Well, plus we go back to Ohio, and they will pull you for the tent, like right now. Like not the inspections are a thing that are here that are not in Ohio, but like they'll pull you for your tent right now in Ohio. Like they do not play around. It's
well, what I understand, they're going to be cracking down on it here.
Really?
Yeah. So
that and the Carolina squat.
Yeah,
they're ruining freedom here in Carolinas.
I know.
One vehicle at a time. I didn't. So this is a funny story. When we first moved here, I had never heard of this, never seen that ever, and we were moving down here, and we had heard all the things that you read on the internet, low income, all this stuff.
Right.
We were out on 70, and we were driving, and I was like, that's the whole rear suspension is busted on that truck, like a Yukon or a Tahoe. And I was like,
no, that's...
And it drove off, and I was like, I've been drinking, but I'm pretty sure, like, that car is way too new to have that as an issue. Plus, they don't have salt on here. Like, what happened? And I saw another one, and now in my head, I was like, well, they say it's a poor part of the state or whatever. And then it was like more. And then I figured it out. But, like, dude, for like 3 months, I was like, why are there so many cars with broken suspensions? Must be the roads. I don't know. Everybody complains about those. And then it was like, oh, no, that's a thing people do on purpose. I was like, get the hell out of here.
And I don't have, there's no idea what that costs, but yeah.
It just doesn't even, I was like, if anything, rake it down in the front.
I know.
Like a rat rod.
That's
what I would do.
Yeah, I get confused by it all. I guess I've phased out of that. I'm too old for that.
I'm 34 and I was too old for it. So I mean, you got me by 20.
I was like, if it's raised up, I mean, how you position your seat to make sure you can see and do and all that.
And then like in general,
I wonder how it rides.
People are shorter here than other parts of the country. So it's like you're inherently shorter by genetics here than most other places in the country, and then they tilt the car like that. Like, it really made no sense.
Well, I can't ride that well.
Yeah, I don't know. That's in like ice cream paint job. Like, do it ride good. Like, that is an important factor to the customization.
Yeah, I want it to ride. I want a nice ride. I want it to feel good. So
yeah, my uncle's on that. He's a big car guy, but he's like Mr. Clean. Like, he's like super OCD about his vehicle. Literally everything is like always detailed out and clean and buff. Like, you could probably eat out of the engine bay of like his 2012 Sequoia or something. But like, he's real big on all those things. Mr. Luxury, the youngest of the family. It's pretty funny. But
totally get it.
I'm like him, but messier, kind of. I don't really care too much.
That's cool. Well, I mean, hey, it's I'm not that way. I mean, I don't. I mean, I love cars, but I just, I'm at the point where it's like I'll just dream about it. I don't. Yeah,
that's my dad's. He's the same.
I'm like, I wouldn't mind a Porsche someday. That'd be cool. But then I'm like, I don't even know if I could get in and out of it at this point.
Well, yeah. But then you also go, you're like, that I could have like 6 rentals.
Yeah.
I could have 6 rental units for the cost of that Porsche.
Exactly.
That's what my dad does now. He's his big
thing. You have to think. Yeah.
Yeah, he wants like the C7 Corvette Stingray. Like, before they switch the engine to the back, he likes that last couple years, and he just can't bring himself to buy one. I'm like,
yeah, it's just not as important.
Yeah,
it's just like,
he said his number one thing that he likes. This way he tells me all the time. He's like, there's living your whole life and you do all these things and you push because you want this thing. And he goes, but what's even cooler is seeing someone else driving one and being like, and then you go to the dealership and you check it out and you're like, yeah, maybe test drive it. Then you get back and throw the guy the keys and the kid will look at you and go, what'd you think? It's badass. Is it everything you thought it was? All that and more. What can we do? Let's get it done. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
We got this financing. I could pay cash for it if I wanted to, but appreciate the test drive. That was great.
I got enough.
Roll on out of here.
When I have another wild hair, I'll be back to test drive it again.
Yeah, maybe we'll try something else.
Maybe a different color.
Yeah, but I was like, man, that is pretty smart, especially with something like that. Like,
yeah,
you're never
I mean,
going to drive it anyway. Just go rent one, or
I don't know. Yeah, I think
it.
a lot of things happen, but it's like, things just that you think are important aren't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all the materialism, materialistic things, whatever. You just sit there and go, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't like nice things. I mean, I would be,
for sure.
lying if I said I don't. But I don't, I don't have to. I have a little more control now.
Totally.
It's one of those things where you just go, yeah, it's a nice to have, but it's not, it's a need versus a want. And I'm trying to educate 2 kids, get them through college, and
I was just gonna say,
get a house paid off. Which, the more I research that, I would almost advise younger people to, think about, the buying of homes and doing the rental properties and because if you rich man poor man type thing, and there's I don't know. That's what I think I would say. One thing, as I think back and I look today, and there's so much information out there. I wish I would have had, and I'm not an old dude yet, but I'm just saying, I would have wished I would have started earlier, being more curious about finances and what smart decisions to make. Now, losing my dad, I was 20. I just graduated college, so I was 22. So I didn't really have that sounding board, and I missed that piece. And so, I had to figure out a lot on my own. It took me longer. So I try to, make sure I talk to my kids about finances and money. That, it's an important thing, and what's important, what's not. But there's so much more really good information if you just go seek it out.
Yeah. That
you can really cut not only years off of frustration, but why do we do what we do? It's all about time.
It's the most valuable asset.
It's time. So, the more you do, the more time you have. It's like, how do I have time for me? What do I do to put myself in a position to have more time? And that's kind of what it's all about. And if you're slaving away, somebody else owns your time.
Yep, for sure.
So,
for sure.
I don't know. Getting a little philosophical, but
I love it though, because that's the good stuff. Like you said, like it's stuff that you had to figure out, because like you said, you lost your dad a little early, so like stuff you had to figure out. So like I look at those things as like, well, it took you, so like passing those things on to other people. Like you don't know who, like random Joe Schmo is watching, going, oh man, like, and it just, that's the time they needed to hear it. Because like I'm the same way. I like
it's
I'm
out there,
curious about things, but I'm also still young and enough to where like I still like openly acknowledge and know, like I make decisions going, I know this isn't the right decision, but I just really want to do it right now. And it's like kind of getting to that point where it's like, nah, maybe I don't want you to do that every time. Or
well, I mean, it's
everyone's
it's working the clutch and hitting the throttle, and if your boat goes airborne, you got to throttle back, and once it hits the water again, you got to hit the throttle, and just understanding how to make it perform the best. And it's a combination of of discipline, and and then allowing yourself to make mistakes. I mean, you only succeed through failure most of the time. So you got to fail, and like they say, if you fail fast. you know?
Or try a lot of stuff and fail.
Yeah.
Like figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I do like
you've
that.
done a good job of that.
Yeah, I tried it.
I mean, I'm not saying you failed, but I mean, you do. You're a doer, and that's what I like about you. And you know, it was interesting how we met. We'll get into that here too. But you know, I've always taken an interest in everybody, and you know, if you're local, you're local, and you know, if you come here to be a part of our community, you know, I'm accepting of that too, because that's the connection-driven person that I am, so. You know, I remember meeting you and Grant for really the first time, and it was, you know, it was an interesting reason, you know, when you first got here, and you know, but it was one of those things where it started a conversation, which ultimately started a relationship, and you know, it's been good. I mean, you and I don't talk every day, and you've got your life and I've got my life, and we're in a couple different spots. But, you know, I always enjoy running into you and Grant, and I try to drop by periodically here and there. And I do that with everybody. I like I said, that's just what drives me in life, is being around people, you know. But it's also, you know, I like to be out, and I also like to be alone, you know. There's a balance. So it's been, you know, difficult at times because you're raising a family, and you know, like they say, life is, you know, everything that happens between what you plan.
Yeah,
so you know, life you know, is not always smooth sailing, but you know, it's those times where you can sit down, like tonight, and you know, I had to bail on you because I was sick over the holiday, and you know, we've been trying to get together, but it's these times that I thoroughly enjoy, because we just get to kind of sit here and be people.
Yep.
And you know, and just talk about whatever comes to mind. Just like for everybody out there, I was like, "Well, Zach, do I prepare for something?" You know, because I'm so used to, I got to have a presentation, I got to have a pitch, I got to, you know, that's kind of the way it is. Is you're like, "Nah, dude, we're gonna wing it." And I was like, "Sweet."
Yeah, awesome.
You know, because
no homework yet.
Yeah, I was like, we'll just get on here and start talking about some stuff, and you know, you can cut away what you cut away, and you know, keep what's worth, you know, what's compelling, and you know, you want to put out there. So, I just like the fact that we have a local podcast and somebody who's interested in doing that. And you know, I was talking about this when I did my drive-by on the way to Mother Earth earlier. I mean, it's very cool. Podcast is the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Especially right now, it's so hot.
It's such a great platform to really do what you want to do and achieve what you want to achieve out of the podcast, because you know, and like I told you, I love Jordan Peterson, I love Rogan. You know, I'm trying to figure out this whole Andrew Tate guy. You know, just you know, and just kind of go through, and you make your decisions as to, you know, and there's others. I don't want you guys to think I'm that limited, but I'm into, you know, males being masculine. I don't see any problem with that at all. I mean, I'm teaching that to my son. It was taught to me. I mean, if you go back in history, you know, it's always been that way. And I don't understand why, you know, and it's not just, you know, perception, but it's like, why is there a tax not right? Well, maybe it is. Why is masculinity in question, and why is that a bad thing? I mean, I was born a certain way. You know, I have certain things that make me up physically, experiences. So it's psychological, it's physiological. I embrace that, and I don't understand why people just can't leave that alone and say it's okay. You know, it's
the society doesn't always have to be on a hell-bent mission.
No,
like I think it's the cleanest I could just say it and leave it like. But like,
just
the constant
that was
driving
well said.
of changing stuff at 100 miles an hour. Like, I understand that it's like, I don't get it, man. It doesn't. Not everything needs to be attacked. Not everything needs to be canceled. Like, just let people live. Like, going back and then like canceling things on the other side of the way that it was for a while doesn't do anybody any good. It's like, you did this, so you shoved a needle in my eye, so now I'm gonna shove a needle in your eye, and it's like, yeah, but now we're both blind in one eye. Like, did that help us as a team?
What did that accomplish?
Yeah, if we were a team surviving together and it was just us, and we're on an island together, and you accidentally cut my hand off with a machete, is it does it make sense for me to turn around and cut your hand off? We're on an island together.
Yeah.
two guys with one hand's not going to do
But the whole thing about, attacking history and attacking this and attacking that, how do you learn? How do you keep going, and how do you evolve?
Right.
And how do you how do you learn? It's from history. And if I want to learn history, and there's 10 pages of history, and you eliminated page 3 and page 7, it's incomplete. I don't have a real world picture of what the historical value of what I'm trying to educate myself on is. And if you choose to try to erase certain things, that's not fair to me, who's someone who wants to educate themselves on whatever I want to educate myself on.
Exactly. Yep.
So I don't get it. I mean, just leave it alone. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's fine.
Good, maybe.
Yeah, no.
Good,
and I'm going to
maybe
listen
that you
to.
don't like
I'm going to
something,
listen
yeah.
to you. I want the exchange.
Right.
But the other thing is, I'm one of those guys who I'm going to stay in my lane for the most part.
Yeah, I feel that.
And I'm passionate, and I love conversation and all that. But I'm not going to go out there and I'm not about dissonance. I'm about harmony. But I'm also understand that things happen in the world, and not in my lifetime and other lifetimes, that I need to learn from in order to understand that A, I didn't like that, or B, I totally agree with that. But don't try to erase it so I can't figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Well, it's like everybody teaches, so don't take away the negative lessons, because like things can be learned from negativity too. Like especially some like learning from failure sometimes rings home a little more than learning from successes. Like history should be full of all the, oh my God, I can't believe somebody did that, or I can't believe that was a thing, because good.
Yeah.
Good. Let's make it out. Let's put it out there. Let's make it bright. Let's not exalt. Let's not be like praising it and rejoicing, but like having it be available, like you're saying, like is important.
Yeah, I just think that we are cheating ourselves, really, as a society, if we're not allowing ourselves to have a total view of the world in terms of where we came from and the things that we've overcome as a culture, and the things that we're not there yet on as a culture. But how can you really try to make it better if you don't understand what made it wrong because you wanted to erase it?
Yeah, because it offended you or something.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like I want to be like, hey, that's cool that you're offended by that and that you want to get rid of it, I guess. But like your erasing of things is offending me.
Yeah.
Maybe don't.
It could.
What if I was offended that you're erasing things that offended you? Like just the action of putting it away so that I can't. Maybe I want to be offended by the same thing. Maybe I should, because it makes me view
I just
things
want to know what was on
differently.
page. I just want to know what was on page 3 and page 7.
I like that.
That's all.
Yeah.
And let me make up my own mind, because you know what? I'm intelligent, and I think for myself.
Well, they don't like that.
Yeah. So
Not a big fan of that stuff.
I was wondering if I wanted to get into all this tonight, but I feel better. I feel like a weight's been lifted, because I was kind of like, do I want to come in here and be PC, or just kind of get some of this stuff off of my mind? And I'm kind of glad it went this way, because I just think it's inherently wrong to not provide a full picture, because I can't make a good decision if I don't have all the information. Mm-hmm. Just like in business, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
We're always seeking the most information to put us in a decision to make the best decision for our company and move it forward. I mean, that's important to you, that's important to me, and it should be important to really anyone who's trying to better themselves. And, you know, it really boils down to, you know, just being a well-rounded person and understanding that, you know, some atrocities that happened and some things that didn't go your way, you know, if you really talk to people, and I'm not talking about your clique and like-minded, but
outside the silo.
Yeah, if you get outside the silo, people understand that. You know, if you're talking to most people, I think one of the big problems is media is so the 2% most extreme on both sides. Yeah. And if people just, and I think there's a movement, I feel like there's a pebble in the pond on this, but the pendulum, I don't care how far you swing it, okay, and you get momentum going both ways, at the end of the day, where does it end up? It's in the center.
Back to the middle. Yep.
So
where's the pivot point?
Yeah, exactly.
Most of its time is spent really close to the middle. Yeah. If you ever watch one as it's going. Yep.
And most of us are centrists, and so, you know, most people just don't want to talk about it because they're turned off by the fact that, you know, extremism seems to be cachet, you know, and that's where all the media is. But that's not where the people are for the most part, even in the community.
Right. Yeah, you're seeing
when I visit and you go to different meetings and you're trying to improve, most people don't get caught up in that. They're more worried about Kinston and trying to make Kinston a better place, which is, you know, that's where we live and that's what we want to do. And it's people that just aren't quite had the resources either made available or they haven't taken advantage of the resources to make them understand that, hey, there's a lot more of us than there are them.
Right. Yeah, it's like the silent majority a little bit, you know what I mean?
It's been too silent. That's the problem.
Yeah, you take, like you said, it's 2 on this side, 2 on that side, but at the end of the day, all the people doing all the chitter-chatter and all the barking and stuff are about 4 out of 100 people.
Right.
There's 96 people that think that those 4 people are nuts.
Yeah, and a lot of us are sitting there going, damn. You know, like,
yeah,
whoa.
It's great theater, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's great theater.
But yeah, sometimes you just want to step out of the show.
Yeah. I try not to be in all that. And I don't talk about it a whole lot. It's kind of like politics and religion, you know. I grew up Catholic, and, you know, it's you know, just being raised, you know, my mother and father. You just didn't do that, you know. And, you know, if you get into a room and you're around the holiday table, and I mean, you know, that's a different story. But it's
I like all
too many cocktails. But anyways, it's.
I like the different shirts around the holidays that kind of pop up on social media, where it's like, you know, it's like something. You know, it's like some edgy statement. Like edgy political statement on a sweater. It's like headed to. I
saw a good T-shirt the other day. You should do this. Maybe we can go in on it together or something. But it said, what was it? Many ideas die while suffering.
Yeah, it's true.
I thought that was a pretty edgy comment.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, and I guess what it's trying to say is, you know, that while you have an idea, it takes a lot for that to come to fruition. And you're a business owner. You know this. You're an entrepreneur, and you know it's not easy. And that's why a lot of ideas die, because they can't get through the suffering phase, because there's a lot of suffering.
Pay periods suck.
I mean, the startup part, I mean, I don't know if I ever told you this, and I'll share it with the audience. But a good story about Sugar Hill. So Jackie and Brad and Nicole and I were out watching our daughters playing travel softball, and we're in the sweltering heat under a tent, and we're out there, and we're like, God, it's so damn hot. And Jackie and Brad come up and they go, hey, we want to go into the pizza business. I went, really? I went, man, I want to do that. And so she goes, well, Brad and I already rented a place. I went, really? She goes, yeah. So it was the sweetie pies or whatever whatever this was called. It was cupcakes and it was sweetie pie, something like that. But anyway, so we came. I went, okay. So they came over to the house and we started talking about the deal, and we figured it out. And so we said, okay, we're getting into the pizza business.
Yeah.
And so we looked at each other. What do you know about pizza? Not a damn thing.
I like it.
And I said, but I know a lot of people enjoy pizza. So,
right.
So anyway, so we got in there, and we started to renovate. And Zach, we were about 2 weeks from opening, and I was pulling my hair out, and I'm sure Jackie and Brad were pulling their hair out because I was pulling my hair out, so everybody's going to be pulling their hair out. Yeah. So I was a little on edge. Uh-huh. And I'm like going, 2 weeks, guys. We don't have a sauce recipe, nothing. I'm like, we've got this place looking like a pizza joint, and I said we don't have any recipes yet. So Mike Murphy, who is our purveyor at Performance, which is Roma, was a chef. He says, well, I'll help you get started. And then we started interviewing pizza guys, our people. And because Caitlin worked with us when we first started, and she was amazing. And we lost her to Wilmington, Caitlin. And so we're sitting there going, I'm stressing because I can't help at this point.
Yeah, it's out of your hands a little bit.
Yeah, so out of control. You're like, So anyway, so we get Mike, and Mike's helping us out, and we developed the secret sauce, if you will, and then we start learning how to make pizza, proofing the dough, and doing all the things necessary, and then. We were fortunate that Travis Langston, T, came in with us, and we had a few others that started. But Travis is the man. He is. Love Travis. Shout out to Travis Langston, and the whole kitchen crew and everybody at Sugar Hill, front end and back of the house.
Yeah, so Tyler was working on his birthday today.
Tyler was 24.
I think so. Yeah.
He was today.
I
Happy
saw
birthday!
That on Facebook today, and I was like,
yeah.
And then I looked over and saw his truck, and I was like, attaboy.
Show enough.
Talking about he's there on his birthday.
Show enough.
Man, some people, I know people that religiously take their birthday off, and I was like,
I'm
impressed to see that. I like that. I like working on my birthday too, Tyler. It's a way to represent.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, I saw him last night at the saloon. I had no idea that today was his birthday.
Yeah, we need to head over there when we're done.
Maybe slide through. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me one on the way home.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but so we're in there and we're making some progress, and we're getting low. I mean, the funds are
feel that.
There's it's starting to beep. Like DEFCON 4.
I don't want to dip in again.
Yeah, and I'm like going, oh my. So we put in a food order. Everything is good to go. And when we open, put a food order in, $187 left in the bank.
Yes. I like these stories. I love these.
And I'm like going,
oh, God.
I grabbed the rosary beads. I actually had Dr. Wanda Neely, who is our minister at First Presbyterian Church, come over, and she blessed our entire restaurant. We all held hands, every room, because I was looking for any reassurance and divine intervention, whatever I could grasp. We were going for it. So we opened up, and it went like gangbusters. I mean, we ran out of dough. It was just, everybody was showing us some love, and K-Town's really good about when something opens, they flood it.
Show out.
Yeah. I mean, show out, and then you're like, I hope they come back.
Yes, yeah. I hope we didn't screw that up. Yeah, because everyone saw
repeat
it.
business is key. So, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, we might have something here,
right?
But is it going to repeat? So it started repeating, and here we are. That was February of 15, 16. So it's been an absolute blessing. And, and then we tried Mad Hatter, and that worked for a while. But I with Jackie went through some health, times with some cancer, which she overcame, and hey, Jackie, we love you. And then Brad's had his issues, and we love you, B-Rad. And, so, I was like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot, with full-time jobs and, everything else. And we have great people. I'm so thankful for our staff, and I hope they know that. I tell them every time I see them how much we appreciate what they do, and the community support, Kinston and Lenore County and alike. And, we've gotten a good name, and, I go to neighboring cities, and a lot of them have heard, which is kind of cool. And so
that's right. Yeah.
We're in the pizza world, and so, we've been very fortunate and blessed, and, that allowed us to do other things, which, I'm big on giving back and paying forward and trying to do. And, the lifeblood is, the new crop and the new wave, such as yourself. And, you got Travis Harper, and you got a lot of people, and Jesse. And there's a lot of great people. Tanya and Waylon have been down here for a long time, and they've done a lot of good things. And you got Steven, and you got Steve Lovick. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. So it's just been a great thing. And with the expansion, when you get Manhattan Cigar and, Nick coming down, and, and there's more starting to open up. You have House of Ink.
Yeah, House of Ink's popping over there, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, Queen Street.
Same block as Manhattan and Tops, Bottoms, and Souls. They're right next to, like, a thrift store. Or not a thrift store.
Yep.
An antique shop.
Right, so, I mean, Queen.
Yeah.
Starting to pop. Then, I saw Leon walking around with the more apartments that are being built. And so, a little bit at a time. So, I mean, it's
and don't sleep on the old Hawk's Nest that's now going to be called, I think, Standard Diner or something.
Oh, that's right.
Chuck Hangston, Lizbot.
Okay.
They got.
When is that?
I don't have a date on that one, but he'll be on the. He's just coming back into town today. He'll be on the pod. He better be on the pod before he leaves town again. But she stopped in the other day, and we got to meet her. And they picked up the Mockingbird bookstore.
Okay.
Or the perimeter of Mockingbird bookstore, because the roof.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got the Hawk's Nest spot. They're doing apartments upstairs. Again, right
that's gonna
there,
be killer
between House of Ink, Manhattan, and the courthouse. So
see, cool. So it's good that Queen's getting some traction.
Yep.
And
that helps everything.
If we can just, take some of these, buildings that need love, and I know everybody talks about it, but if we can just continue to, keep chipping away at it, Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. So sure. We've got a lot of good momentum, and you got Fernando over here with the Smokehouse, Barry Smokehouse. They've been cranking out some good food.
Always busy.
Trying to show him love on social media and things, but good food. You checked it out, right? It's good.
Like 3 or 4 times. I got to get him on too, man, for sure. He's on my show.
Yeah, you need to get him on.
Or he's on the phone.
Yeah.
We go outside together to talk on the phone, and we're like
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, so they're
Oh, the
cranking.
candy shop. You been to Alien Fizz yet?
Oh, Alien Fizz.
Dude, the
Yeah,
candy
those
shop.
guys are nice.
Super kind. Like
Yeah, oh
nicest,
yeah, they're the
purest
best.
of
They're
people.
so kind.
Yeah, so kind. Harry, I love him. He's
Yeah, yeah. They actually were looking at our spot before they chose the spot they're in. It was just too big, and for them and what they wanted to do, they just really wanted the front and the front. So, but I'm glad they're doing well, and I mean I don't know what else is popping up, but there's a lot, and the mullet's gonna pop up here in February, and
14th,
I actually walked in there Tuesday night, and
sweet.
I don't want to steal any thunder, but
I know he's got to come back through, and
it's gonna be on in there. It
Yeah.
looks like so. It's very cool. We own that building, and I will say thanks to Travis for picking the spot. I think it's a great location. Obviously, right in the center of Heritage on this block, which a lot going on. It's going to be another bar. But he's got some cool things and a cool vibe that he's putting together, and I'm not going to steal any of his thunder. But I think around Valentine's or somewhere he's talking about opening up around that time frame, and come check it out. It's going to be very cool. So
I think it's going to be tight. I'm super excited. Just the more and more places to hang out, man. It's like I said, different flavors.
Yeah.
Different flavors. And then you get them down here, and then you never know. They might wander over to this spot, that spot, the other. And
yeah, I mean,
it's a whole
you got to put it together.
That's the thing. People don't like just coming out and going to one spot and spending 6 hours there. They want to come out and, lack of a better term, bar hopping is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I like having
No
a drink
doubt.
and tabbing out and then scrolling over to the next place and doing the same thing. It's very fun, especially when you're with a group of people. Each place has its own vibe, its own activities. You go to the saloon, you're going to sit there. There's not going to be TV. There's no Wi-Fi. And there's no games to play. You just got to bump elbows and talk to people.
That's right.
You want to go play games? You can go to the Heritage. You can do all the different stuff. I mean, you can go throw axes. You can. I mean,
Lauren, Justin over at Heritage. That's a cool vibe.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's kind of got their thing. The office. It's everything's got its own little vibe, and that's what's cool about it. To your point, I was talking to when Jay's came over. I told him, I said, I think about car dealerships. And you got your Chevrolets, your Fords. You want to have it all down here, and let the consumer decide.
Sell more cars. Next to car dealerships.
I know. Like for many times. I mean, back before we had the Oyster Bar and Chef and all that was rolling. I mean, it was amazing, and you probably wouldn't believe, but how amazing it was, how much business we picked up because they couldn't get in there.
That's exactly where I was going to go next. Yeah, you just by being around and being open, you never know when you're going to get the overflow from somebody else. Like, to be honest, the best example of that for us was we were sitting at Ironclad a lot because that's kind of our little place we like to go and just drink beer and hang out. Like the people, got to know the owners, Sean and Audrey, they're real cool, and the Carrie who works there, like she's awesome. Her and Steph are like great friends. I think they said they were
great people.
Yeah, I think Steph and Kara are like getting married or something.
Great arcade.
Yeah, the arcade's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Some pool, you can go play pool. And, you don't have to wait till the late nights to play pool, which
That's
is
right.
great. But, like, we would sit there, and literally when Jay's open, Jay's would fill up, then the alley would fill up with people waiting, and then people would just kind of wander down the alley, and then they were starting to tag. Laughing Out started. I'd love to know the numbers on that, but when Jay's open, Laughing Out was like, ooh.
It popped off, and they've done really well, too. I mean, we've got so much to offer
which, by the way,
people.
Hands down, downtown best lunch spot Mondays. Smash the Laughing Owl because they're the only spot open Mondays for lunch downtown. And that's like almost,
That's right.
That's like the time that I almost do Monday lunch at Laughing Owl. It's almost like static on my schedule.
Yeah.
So,
like you said, it's open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that because you've always pushed like, hey, I sure would like to do this or that. It would be nice if this, that, and it, but it makes people think and then like going, wow.
Yeah.
Nothing is open on Monday.
Yeah, and it's never like a facetious or like it's sarcastic, but like it's more it's thought provoking is the intent.
Right.
The
for
tone and things, I'm learning how to be a little softer and say things in ways that don't get me accosted on Facebook as much. I'm still good at doing that, but like,
Yeah. No, I mean,
finding the softer ways to say it. If I'm saying, hey, laughing I was open on Mondays, hit them up. I'm not saying this place, how dare you be closed? What the hell is wrong with you?
Right.
But someone's going to look at that and be like, damn, that's right. We could use a little bit more revenue. Our rent is our rent.
Right.
Maybe we stay closed on these days, but we do pop open for a Monday lunch. I don't know. But
look, we used to be
throwing
open.
Out the idea.
Sugar Hill used to be open 7 days a week,
Right.
and then COVID hit, and
I remember that.
and then we said, it really got down to, hey, we need a day off for our staff.
Yep.
And
everyone can just be like,
yeah,
together.
So, and Monday was an easy choice because nothing was open.
Yep.
And
we had Joe Hargan on.
Yeah.
I said,
I saw
Are
that
you back
episode.
open on Mondays? He goes, we never closed on Mondays.
Right.
He goes, we closed on Tuesdays. Monday's one of our best days because everybody else closed on Mondays. I'll never close on Monday. And I was like, that's right, dude. What's up? I was like, I'm with that.
No, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good episode. Yeah, it was a good dude. Joe.
That's a spot that I don't go eat at nearly enough. Like, it just.
Well,
doesn't.
I mean, you're so good about just walking or riding around down here on your board or chilling. But
it's so far away from here all the way to Kings. I mean, my house is about that far that direction too, and we complain about that. But
he'd deliver it to you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got to go do the buy a pet, get a pet free on Wednesdays. I'm trying to do that.
Oh yeah, Lulu's.
Yeah, I'm trying to go hard on those for sure.
Yeah, and they're good. Yeah,
never had oysters till I moved down here. And
listen to some B. Merritt out there. Bobby Merritt's playing out there.
Or the captain.
Oh yeah. He's
back. He had a little health.
That's right.
But he's back.
That's good.
Me and Stacy ran into him the other day on New Year's Eve at M&D Gifts, actually. Look at us. We've name-dropped almost every business in downtown. I mean, this is getting...
That's part of the deal.
Right? You're learning. You're starting to catch on. But, we went in there. That's the first time I had been in that spot. We went in. Lo and behold, Stacy found himself a book called Someone's Gotta Say It for $0.25. He was all gassed up about it. And then we ran into Dick Knight there while we were waiting on our balloons. We were getting the golden G balloons.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So next year, you'll probably find out. We'll
Dropping the G?
We're going to hit you up for that sponsorship next year, but we're trying to legitimately put it together, a G dropping event in downtown Kinston.
I think it's a good idea.
It's Stacy's idea. I'm just trying to do my part with it, but I think the idea, if you don't know, is everybody drops something on New Year's Eve, right? Like drop the ball, drop the pickle, what's the stupid one?
The chalupa.
Is it chalupa?
That's an old one. That's an old Taco Bell
Is that a commercial with the dog, too?
The Chihuahua. Drop the chalupa.
Drop the chalupa, man.
Yeah.
I like that. But, so we just want to put a G up on a building and then drop it down, let it be at the bottom at midnight. But we also want to tie it in. It's a way to explain the history of the town. We drop the G when we drop the king. Everybody will tell you. All the historians will tell you that's the story. And, Stacy kind of riled us all up by asking these provocative-esque questions. But having an event like that allows the town to talk about itself, talk about its history. The news would love to pick up it's such a quirky idea. Like, we were Kingston, we dropped a G, we're going to drop a G for New Year's Eve.
Well, I think it's cool because it's accurate.
Yes.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
We dropped the G.
It's historical context and tongue-in-cheek at the same
Exactly.
time. And, who wouldn't come to that?
I think it would be a great draw.
I want to get the mayor.
You just got to have the reach. You got to.
Yeah, we got it. We're good.
This podcast will do it.
Yeah, we can get it out there. We get enough sponsors. We can do the sponsored. We can get it out there. I'm not worried about that.
Well, in.
Yeah.
We're in on that, Jackie. I hope you got my back.
Yes. Thanks, Jackie. But yeah, man, I think we do that, and then we want to get the mayor to issue a proclamation that on New Year's Eve for the entire day, the city will be renamed Kingston for the day. And at midnight, we drop the G, and at 12 o'clock, we go back to being Kinston. It's perfect.
High five.
It's perfect.
That is. That's cool.
You get the proclamation. You get the news to come. You call every news agency in the whole freaking eastern United States and be like, this is what we're doing.
I think we become
rename the town what it was. And we drop the name. We drop the G every year.
We become the New Year's Eve place to be.
Yeah, I think we'd start.
That's beds and heads for. Let's drop some more names. Mother Earth Motor Lodge.
Yeah, and the O'Neill.
And the O'Neill.
Yeah.
And any of the other chains. We'll just call them chains.
Yeah.
We'll keep it local.
But private-owned Airbnbs as well. Don't sleep on
Yes,
those
all the
folks.
Airbnbs. Yeah.
Yep.
Linda McConnell has got the B&B up here. And
Saj and Steph have one. I don't know if you've met them, but they're not from here. They have a place here. They come down every couple of months and check on stuff. But they have an Airbnb behind the Beer Barn and Noose Sport Shop.
Okay.
It's really nice. They completely redid it. So yeah, if you're looking for
Interesting.
Airbnbs, there's actually like a decent selection of Airbnbs in addition to all the hotels. For
Yeah,
sure.
we started doing that. Like when we go up to Boone for football games, we go VRBO
Yeah.
and just kind of go to, because I mean that's where I went to school too. So it's fun for me, and I take my kids and torture them and show them some of the
Back in my day.
back in the DAY, some of the I don't want to cuss, but some of the not so nice apartments I had to stay in.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You stayed in this?" I was like, "Yeah." And back in the day, I was happy to do it. I mean, I didn't know any better,
It was great.
I got some great memories. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really worry about all those other things when you're 20.
Yeah.
If
It
you
was,
spot to drink, you're good to go.
yeah. You just make your grades, and it's the last point in your life where basically zero responsibility other than going to class, which trains you to start something and finish it. That's what the sheet of paper does.
Yep.
And you know what? That's the other cool thing too. You kind of made me think about it. You got all these people who, go to college and do, and you got people too. It's interesting, and I've met a lot of people obviously, but it's like you have some that take that path and some that don't take that path. And to me, it's almost like, while college is, the institution, and we're kind of led to believe that's the path, and I'm not saying if it is or isn't, but I know so many people that says, why do I want to take 4 years of not making money and doing what I want to do? If you know what you want to do, I think college is just an opportunity to discover what you want to do, and they kind of throw things out in front of you, and you go, oh, I kind of gravitate towards this. But in today's age, it can happen so much faster because you're exposed to so much more, because there's so many more resources on the internet, and you can go and research, and you develop a passion so much earlier in life because you're exposed to so much more that we didn't have.
And you're tasting things, so you find the things that you enjoy the taste of quicker.
Yeah, just like I was talking to you about Mr. Beast, and he does this, and he started when he was 13. Now he's 23, and he's the man. Yeah. He says it takes a decade.
What a grind out.
Yeah, he was grinding, didn't make any money, and for I think he said the first 5 years, and he just stayed with it, and it was smart. And I think when you collaborate, just like you're in an industry that's small in terms of the number of people who do it, still, correct?
Yeah, totally.
Because it's the barrier to entry is the equipment is expensive.
Yes. Yep.
And so, but he said it took him a decade, but he cut time and learning, because I think it was another dropout, and then a few people who didn't go to college, but they all were doing it, and they just learned from each other and the mistakes, and they just stayed with it, and all of them were successful.
Yeah, I think I saw that same portion of the interview where basically it was like, they were, he had like a Discord channel or whatever that was at the time, and they would just sit there and grind all day and communicate what
15
hours
hours
working every single day. And so, like he said, I think there were 4 of them. If you learn by failing, or if messing things up brings you knowledge, 4 people messing things up and sharing brings a lot of knowledge, really. Quickly. So
exactly.
Totally.
So
that's kind of like the vibe we're trying to do here with our stuff, with like Big Bark and with Additive, and myself, Steph, Grant, and Alex. Is just like, it's a team of 4 people. We generally can get, if we, there's things I'm stronger at, there's things they're stronger at, and each of them in different ways. And it's like, if we're all working on all these projects together at the same time,
Oh yeah.
We can compartmentalize and shift different portions of them to different people. Like today we were literally talking about it. I was like, we had Steph really bogged down with so much stuff with Big Bark. And it was like, hey, we need this quote, we need this quote, we need this quote. And then Alex was like, well, I do all the quotes for additive. Like, Zach tells me what the prices are. And then she does all the work to put it together. Because if I had to sit there and do all the quotes all day, I'd bog down. I wouldn't be able to do all these other crazy
Go crazy.
So I can't stand that stuff. I hate
I can tell you, yeah, that's not you.
I hate it. I know. I'm like,
you're the creative.
I just talked to the CPA today, and I was like, I know, I'll get you all this stuff. I hate it. I was like, dude, please. I actually called him, and I was like, I am ignorant to all of these things. I'm good at coming up with ideas, concepts, getting the ball rolling. And then, to be honest, like even like I caught myself in additive a little bit. Once things get going, I kind of get bored. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care anymore, and I want to go start something else.
That's a true entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah, once it's up and set and running, I just want to hire the things and then keep finding other fun things.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like nerding out on video stuff. Like the amount of things I've learned about videoing and video editing the last 4 weeks is insane. But it's just one of those things I always wanted to do. And then I have a knack for the eye of the marketing of it, and I was like, man, the only thing lacking here is like I don't do it myself. So I was like, learning it.
Yeah. I mean,
learn it.
I'm glad you're doing this. I mean, I know you've done it for a long time, and you're kind of getting it going here and inviting people, which is great. And you know, I don't know how to develop reach and all that with this because it's new, but it's very cool, and I think you're doing a great service, and hopefully, you know, you'll get more and more people because, you know, like you said with the flavors, kind of going back to that. I mean, the more you can introduce people to people within our community, the better.
Yep.
And you know, it gives people a feel, and I mean, you got more people moving here now too.
For me,
I mean, it's from all over the place.
Yeah, like I get my personal things that I gain from doing something like this, sure. But the biggest thing for me pushing it was now when you go on YouTube and you search Kinston, give me a year, and you're not going to see this bullshit fighting and all this. Don't live in Kinston or some knucklehead riding his bike around and yelling at people. We're done with that shit. We're not doing it anymore. We're replacing the negative post. And the only way to get them to go away is to just drown them out with positive posts. And that's my main goal of this. And, you know, you can do it on Facebook, but then they go away. They get lost in the feed. Yeah. On YouTube is a searchable thing. It's searchable through Google. When you search something on Google, YouTube results pop up. YouTube is a search engine, essentially. It's all run by the same company. So now when you start and you look back in 3 years, if it's 2025 and you're searching Kinston, this video is going to pop up. And it's not going to be Kinston's one of the 10 worst places to live in North Carolina. It's a bunch of crap.
It is.
It's crap. And
it is.
When you share those videos, all you're doing is playing into the hands of the guy who manipulated you into thinking that you needed to share that. There's a guy that literally makes the same video, 10 worst cities to live in each state.
I saw
that. And he picks and chooses, and then he shares it in the word of mouth of those towns. And the people are so gullible that they click on it, and then they share it. Can you believe?
Yeah.
It's clickbait, you clowns. Quit giving them the podium. If some guy, every time you give him a microphone, steps up and just spews hateful crap, why do you keep giving them the microphone? Tell them not to come back to the show anymore, or to sit there and just wait. But I see it goes around like once a month or two where people share that same stupid video, and it's like you're blowing on the fire.
Yeah, I think just people in general, you know, misery loves company, as they say, and you know, you got a lot of people out here trying to be positive and move Kinston, Lenoir County forward. There's a lot of positive momentum. You know, the negative is always there, and it's always there everywhere. Yep. And let me know if I'm going over time. By the way,
you're chilling. Keep rocking.
But it's everywhere, and it's all about how you handle that. And you know that there's a lot of challenges being in a small rural town, just like there is being in an urban, you know, metropolis. So I mean, we still have crime, we still have you know, those types of challenges, but it's how you approach it. It's your attitude.
Exactly.
I mean, in superior attitude wins, and you just have to have those people from everybody from our town and our county leadership, which I think do a good job in, painting a picture and trying to mitigate the things that may be perceived as negative, but really are taken out of context sometimes, to just trying to say, hey, look, what are we doing to try to move forward? And for those of you that are trying to be negative, what's the problem?
What are you gaining?
Yeah. Well, why are you wasting your energy?
Yeah.
And trying to make me waste my energy by even having to address. I mean, and the comments, if you think about it, are so general. There's nothing specific. I mean, it's not like I was accosted on the third block of whatever and whatever. It's and it's a stigmatism and a black eye that really has been washed away in a lot of respects and is healed up, but people can't let it go.
Yeah, for me, it was just the strangest thing. Like, I don't really necessarily care in the deep downs of my heart about Pickerington, Ohio, but it's where I went to high school.
Yeah,
and if you were to talk some smack about Pickerington, Ohio, right here, right now,
it's on.
You might not want to. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but don't say it in front of me.
Right.
And I only went there for high school. I didn't even grow up there. I have no family there.
What's interesting too, and this kind of goes back to history, and people wanted to conveniently forget about history.
Right.
There's so much history here, and we've done so many things in our community, and we've with textiles and tobacco, and really back in the day, I mean, we were the financial hub of the East.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we had all the big banks here, and there was a lot going on, and we had DuPont, so textiles. We had a lot. Hampton, big time tobacco. We were thriving, and then a lot of that was outsourced overseas, and things dried up, and tobacco is still a major export, but things happen with all the negative publicity on tobacco.
You need to bring hemp back here strong, man.
Hemp.
You got the fertile grounds. If it could grow tobacco, it could grow that.
Oh yeah, and they're doing that.
Land grab. Yeah, they are.
They're doing that on small scale. Yeah. I think that's got a ways to go.
If the federal government, not to jump all the way into these things, but if the federal government legalizes the Mary Jane, this area.
Oh, it's gonna blow up because
it's obviously proven.
Yeah, it's like the East Coast Napa Valley.
Exactly. I know. That's why. If that turns you off or you're freaking out, calm down.
Yeah,
it's just a plan. But I'm saying, if that's the way the world is going. You can hate it, love it, whatever, but it's going to happen. And when it does, this land is going to go right back up in value because it's the same type of game.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
But
there's to drag you into that one.
No,
it's an interesting look at real estate.
It is, and
so much wide open space here.
It's interesting, all the possibilities that still remain for us in this community, and we've got a lot of good things to point to. So you can be negative, and you can come out from under your rock, and out of your shell, and play turtle, and all that good stuff. But for those out here, of us out here who are trying to make a difference and make our community a better place to live, just get out of our way.
That's right. That's what I say. Contribute or shut up.
Come debate us on this podcast. I'm ready.
I like that idea too.
Yeah, I mean, bring it.
Idea.
I mean, that's what this forum should be about too. I mean, is kind of getting opposite viewpoints to come and figure it out. It'd actually be a good social experiment that I think a lot of people need to get used to. I mean, it's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that?
I say this a lot is what happened.
What's your favorite color, Zach?
Green now.
That's not my favorite color, but I
I
like that. I like orange.
I'm gonna unfriend you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Block. I've been saying that for a little bit. If you agree with 100% of someone and everything they've ever said, please let me know who that person is, and it can't be Jesus. Nice try. Yeah. But you find me one person that you agree with 100% of everything they've ever said and ever expressed and anything. I'd love to see it, because you can't even say it about your spouses. You can't say it about your kids. You can't say it about your parents. And if you can't say it about those people, then you're really digging deep to try and find someone. But you can't cancel everyone forever because they finally say one thing you disagree with. Let it go.
I'm going to date myself, but it's almost like Johnny Carson's sidekick. I can't remember his name, but remember he was like, yes, and he'd laugh at everything that Johnny said, and he was kind of like Johnny's lackey.
Yeah, he's kind of like that dude at David Letterman.
Yeah, so, Paul.
Yeah. Turd.
But, I mean, you don't want to be that way.
No.
How boring is it to agree with everything?
So this is a great example of that.
That's boring.
The other day.
Jump in the deep end. Let's go.
This isn't a dig at Travis at all. But the other day, Travis posted the thing about him getting the parking ticket.
Oh, yeah.
And
I got a funny story.
And it was fun. Like, I thought it was funny. I saw where he was trying to go with it. Like, people jump, and then people jump in and they take these, they jump really hard on these sides. And that's what's awesome about Facebook. And he appreciated all the engagement. So thank you. I'm sure he would thank everyone for commenting, whether he agreed with you or not.
That's what it was all about.
Engagement is the trick.
Oh
my God, you mean someone said something?
I got you.
Everyone responded. I posted a thing today where I put, do you see the pork shoulder? And I put it in the oven. And I said, since I'm a Southerner now, I'm a master at these things. And Heath Harrison, it took him like 12 seconds. And he commented and was like, I've never put it in the oven before. And I was like, I texted him, was like, got you. like, not got you, but like, thanks. Like, because me and Heath, like, we do a lot of the same jokes. We don't really hang out or anything. We just text.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was like, thanks for getting it.
Yeah.
That was the joke. P.S. I don't have a smoker. Looking for free hand-me-downs. Anyone, just bring them down 300 North Heritage. Don't set it with the other cooking gear out back because that's not mine. But
just go across the street and use Fernando's.
I know, dude. I'm with that. But anyway, it was just funny.
But that was wild. Actually, I was coming back from Kane's wrestling match, and it was about 9:45, and we were coming back from Woodington because South Lenore hadn't repaired their gym yet, and I'm like, holy crow, what are all the blue lights up here? I was like, it's bubble gum's going crazy up here. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, there's like 4 cop cars, and I went, oh no, that's Travis's truck.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, sorry, but I said, that's Travis's truck. I said, what are all the cop cars doing around there? And he wasn't there, but it was parked the wrong way.
Yeah, it's on the wrong side of the street. Can't do that.
And I was like, dude, what did that set you back? He goes, man, it's $2.
$2. Yeah. Well, because I said
they should have put 20 and maybe to make you think about it.
Yeah, I said 65. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Hey.
That's what they are where I come from.
Revenue.
Thank you. So we've been kind of saying that about the loading zone because a couple of times, like, people just pull up, park in the loading zone, and just park there for like the whole day. It's like, gee, many Christmas, guys. And like, don't get me wrong, we had a dumpster there and we were working upstairs. Like, far from I'm not innocent here, but it was brought to my attention that people were having an issue with it. Please, can you talk to your people? And
right.
And we were like, yeah, sure, awesome, no problem. And it was not a problem for a couple of months, and then it was like, gradually people would just start doing it again. We are not still. But dang, it's freaking frustrating when a truck pulls up to deliver a pallet of stuff and you got to go all the way to the freaking park with a pallet jack. Oh, yeah, pallet jack. The wheels are this big.
Yeah, so not fun.
Yeah, put 1,000 pounds on a piece of wood and drag it with a cart down North Street, and the wheels are this big. And it's like, it costs.
Isn't that why
money.
you put that in after that unfortunate incident?
That's how we brought the printers in and the machines. I don't know if you saw. We backed a truck right in and literally set.
I actually saw it.
We set the lift gate down right on the pad and then literally wheeled it right off. It was amazingly awesome.
That's sweet.
Because when we didn't have that,
but you'd want to do that with the pallets too. You don't have to go all the way down there.
Well, there's clearly a loading zone right here that's put there for that reason, and then it's like you can't because some person parks there or whatever. And you're like, so all that to say, like, I've been like being like, we need to write some daggone tickets like down here a little bit, like just have have a little bit of accountability. I don't want people to go broke, not be able to eat because they got a parking ticket. But Jesus, you have a car. Like you can afford to. Did you pass the test? Then park. Like John made a funny comment on Travis, like, well, didn't you go left to center to park over there? What's the ticket for that? You know, like that's 2 points. So anyway, I say all that to say, like, I think I have a relationship with Travis enough now to where like that happened, and I commented on it, and I said, yes, finally. Now I wish they'd start writing parking tickets on the loading zone in North Street.
Right.
And he, and then I saw him later that day, and I started talking to him about it. We were cracking up. I started needling him about it, and I said, so I'm just telling you, like, I'm a fan of the parking ticket. You were illegally parked. I said, dude, like, we get along on a lot of things, but, like, I do agree. I'm glad. I said, but, we need more revenue so we can have more cops. Let's charge $65. Let's do warnings for a long period of time so that everyone knows the game. I don't want anyone to get caught off guard, but, like, we've had times where we go to leave at night, and we go out, and they're parked in front of the driveway. And I'm like, now you're blocking a driveway. Like, and then you go get them after 20 minutes, and they come out, and they want to give you attitude. And you're like, listen, if you want to be a jerk about it, I'll be a jerk about it. But I've waited 20 minutes to go find your tail to come out and move it. Next time, you know what? Next time I'll just tie it up to my truck, pull it in the gate, shut the gate. I'll impound your shit and put it in my lot. Hey, how much you be like, I'm trying to be nice. What are you telling me for? And they're like, oh, you're kind of a jerk. Well, yeah, after 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean,
funny, but we had that conversation, and my point is, you can have differing opinions on things.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's not like I'm never talking to Travis anymore because I was like, I'm glad you got that $2 parking ticket, and he was like, how dare you be glad? We laughed about it, and then because I get worked up about stuff too, and people get me going.
Yeah,
so, like I saw him 3 times that day, and each time I saw him, said, hey, what's up? And then I man, can you believe that $2? And he
just get him
the other
going.
night I was walking from here to Ironclad, and I saw 3 cars parked the wrong way, and I took a picture and sent it to him, and I said, look at this, man, $6 just sitting out here for the taking.
I'd like to do that.
I
would like to do that on the street. The street I live on, as you go down towards Vernon, they're parking on the street on both sides. And it's like you have just enough to get your car through. I'm like going, God. And some of them are parked the wrong way. But I took a picture. I mean, it's crazy.
But my point is, there's a town that needs revenue. Now, my attorney did tell me that I think that fees, I don't know this, but it was brought to my attention. Fees for things like that, I think there's a law where those fees have to go towards education.
Which fees?
Like parking tickets and things like that. I think this is I'm ignorant to it, but I was at my attorney, and I was like, man, I was being and moaning about it like I just did right there, and I said, well, for a town that needs more money to pay its cops, it sure could write a lot more speeding tickets, red
for all you
tickets.
KDP,
Yeah, KPD. I mean, what?
Watching the podcast right now, if you could just go ahead and send in the response, the answer to that.
Yeah,
if it goes toward education, we'd appreciate it because we don't know.
But then we would at least know. But the cool thing, another interesting thing.
Oh, look at all the lighting up on your board over there.
Whoa, we've got a caller.
What? Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, the Main Street district down here, we were having some issues with some buildings and things, people pulling some stuff and being punks.
We were victim of that.
And it's like, well, a very easy way to put an end to that is dedicate an officer or a patrol car to just the Main Street district 24/7. Well, we can't afford that. Right. Well, the businesses in the Main Street district all pay a
MSD
quarter percent. So if you don't know, the businesses in this 13, I think, blocks district, we pay on top of all of our other taxes. Like Additive America makes no extra money by being in this because we're not a retail business. But I give a 0.25% of its revenue to the Main Street district as a tax. And then but I can't have, we got the stuff happening. Well, we need more people. We need more funds in the coffers for paying the cops. Great, right? Let's figure out a way to find a way to get if all those fees are already earmarked for education and there's nothing we can do about it, whatever. But there's got to be.
And somebody will reach out and say something. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to peel back the onion on MSD.
Yes.
Just to
what's it go to? Yeah,
just let's see an itemized. Spend.
Yeah, I know where some of it gets spent for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
But we're right here at 300 North Heritage. We have 2 businesses that pay. Oh, we have 4 businesses here at 300 North Heritage that pay into the MSD taxes. And, man, it'd be really cool if y'all's page would share some of our stuff from time to time. It'd be dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I digress. Yeah. I could go on that really deep. That'll be a dark episode.
Yeah. Well, this was cool.
Well, thanks, man.
I mean, hopefully,
solid.
you know, I'd love to come back anytime if you need a filler. You know, but I think this platform, I truly want to thank you for doing it. I think your heart is in the right place in terms of, you know, you using this as a platform to, you know, get to know people, learn a little bit more about a person, help shape the community and show what the community has to offer, and, you know, pick up some tidbits. And, you know, you're learning more and more. How long have you been here now?
Almost 3.5 years.
He's local, baby.
Yeah, I'm a local now. I say y'all from time to time, which is
Yeah.
hard because I'm a you all person.
Well, you're local, and you're deep.
Yeah,
Deep downtown.
that's it. I'm a Southerner, like I said. I put a pork butt in the.
I know. But I mean, but the other thing too, I think as people, you know, start to and they have. I mean, I think you've been very good about putting yourself out there and you know, giving the opportunity to the people in the community to learn more about who. Not only Zach, but Grant and everybody else, Stephanie and the kids. I mean, you made a commitment blindly.
Yeah.
Moving down here, you took a big chance, and we should be appreciative. I know I appreciate you doing that, and that's a big move. I mean, that's part of, you know, who you are and part of being an entrepreneur. I mean, fear is not something that impacts you a whole lot. I think you kind of
Could have heard that yesterday. I was feared hard, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of it, but I mean, you take chances, and you do, and you know, and I think we're very fortunate to have you here. And I think, you know, sometimes you know, people not knowing, having an intimate knowledge of who Zac Holcomb is, you know, puts perception out there. And I think you're, you know, you can be misunderstood sometimes just because people don't understand your click and what you're trying to accomplish by what you say.
yeah, the drive underneath it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think once they understand that, I think they will better know you as a person and what you're trying to do to help drive this community. And, you know, even the fact, you know, like you said, you've been here three-ish years, and you already ran for mayor.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, who does that?
Why not?
So, I mean, it's kind of cool, and you know, nothing seems to stand in your way, and I just want to say, just from me, that I think that's very cool, and you know, I appreciate you bringing the family here and setting up shop, and you know, it's just a cool thing, and we're ready for more people to do that. And diversity is cool. So it makes the world go round, like I said, diversity and variety and more flavors of ice cream. So keep serving it up, and thanks for what you do, and let's keep this community rolling, and just put the energy in there, and let's get something out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate guys like you, man, came down and threw your cash down here early on and helped set the table for people like us, because like if there wasn't a lot of that, I don't have the pockets to come down here and make those types of impacts and things right off the jump. So, you know, I'm
But
wave
you will.
2 or wave 3 of the actual work that's being done. So,
Well, I think the cool thing is too is as you know, get older and more established, and you know, you've got a plan. You're building out. You're doing things. You're making things move and shaking, and you know, you're gonna be in a position that I'm trying to get to, which is giving back and paying forward. And you hear that a lot down here. I mean, you got people who've been down here a long time, and you know, like I said, I'm 54, so I'm trying to just be somebody, a conduit, and somebody who is approachable, and you know, if I can help and do and And, that's what I'm here for too. So, I mean, I like to see people succeed. I like success, and, I like to be a part of that and talking about it, making things happen. So the more people we get down here doing that, or just really in Lenoir County, the better off we're going to be. So thanks for everything you're doing.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Had a crappy little stretch there, man. So it means a lot. Appreciate it. And down in the dumps a little, just personally myself.
Bring it up.
So, yeah,
let's go get a shot at Stanley's.
Let's do that, man. Had a kick-ass day today too. With
Woo!
Sales, man. Yes. Ric Flair too.
Yeah, baby.
Whole other thing, but we got to do the.
Hey, look, we'll come back.
Best old school wrestlers.
Look,
a bracket of them.
Let's do a show on old school wrestling.
All right. Sure.
I'm in. I grew up on it.
Smash pillows.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mentioned it the other day, and people started spitting their teeth out. But anyway, man, appreciate it a bunch. Thanks for coming on.
Cool.
Everyone, that was episode 26 of the Kickin' With podcast. My name is Zac Holcomb. This is Chris Moore. We'll catch up with you on episode 27.